Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Isak Wolff, and joining me today is my good friend and co-host, Brandon Alvarado. How's it going, bud?
If you're trying to sell something, if you're trying to be famous, if you're trying to be cute, if you're trying to cry on someone's jacket, I only have one thing to say. Hashtag Kusanagi
I mean, you're not wrong.
it.
You're not wrong.
I'm still excited about that beanbag.
Um, he's just such a lovable goof.
Yep, yep. Love Kusanagi.
Yeah, he's adorable. But anyway, yeah, as we are today, as the title suggests, covering chapter 8 and chapter 9, and this is interesting pair of characters, sorry, chapters, as in we are continuing the fight with the Mononoke that killed Dora's parents, parent, mother. Sorry, I'm
The
a bit
Hanya
tired right now.
Gyukin.
Yeah.
That's
They call them Mononoke in this manga, so I am going with that.
but that's the name of that's his name, the Hanya Gyukin or whatever it is. Hadouken. No, sorry, I couldn't help
Wrong
myself.
franchise, my friend. Wrong franchise as always. And
Yeah,
I have to ask you a specific thing. What did you think about them when they truly showed off her fighting skills, so to speak, especially when she tried to went to the with a killing blow, so to speak.
I mean, I like the fact that the manga, the book, and the writer has done a very good job in kind of giving us the lay of the land when it comes to power scaling.
Yeah,
Because in the beginning, um, Dora was able to defeat certain Mononokes, um, and not necessarily he was left unscathed, right? Like in a lot of moments, it was tough, it was hard. Um, and you got to think he's super strong. Yes, he has the ability. He is able to work with Kusanagi in his absence of spiritual energy, supernatural energy. Um, but he's been able to win these battles, but at great cost in terms of like he's beat up by the end of every single battle. You know what I mean? We haven't seen him fight once and him being like not tired or beaten up or or trying to recover from it. And the last time we saw Yunchio, she was kicking ass and doing all these like abilities and stuff like that. And that was like 2 chapters ago. And and we know for a fact at the beginning of chapter 6, she was able to beat that demon that was carrying those children with the one eye, right? With Dora's
yeah,
assistance. So we have like a clear hierarchy. Like we know that Dora is strong, but not the strongest. We know that Jinshio is definitely stronger than Dora, or so we understand to a degree. But we're facing this brand new Mononoke that apparently was like making other Mononoke bring sacrifices to him. And it's like, it was personal for Dora, so he got all upset and blacked out in the previous chapters. So now, as Kusanagi and Dora are kind of like patched up now. They're back in the same page to work together to defeat this Mononoke that's killing people. Now Jinshio comes in, and we're thinking, okay, Jinshio's gonna kick ass, right? Like that's like our first thought. We think that this is gonna go like the others. We know that that's a dangerous one. We just heard, which is something that we didn't really talk about. We didn't talk about this the first on the previous chapter, and I can't believe we forgot about it. But so you know that when Yoshio is talking with that one researcher at the Isanagi Force research lab, they kind
Yeah.
of show you like a graph. Let me see if I can pull it up. They show you like a graph, kind of letting you know how, to a degree, power scaling and ranking works in the Isanagi forces. And it kind of tells you like the more the more Mononoke that you defeat, the higher the rank you'll get. Um, so it's kind of like a way of kind of bringing a slightly more definition to the power scaling. Let me show you guys. I want to show you what it would mean. And it's funny because we rarely see something so clear this early in a book. You know what I mean? Like we normally see this like season 2, season 3, right? Like sometimes when things get so out of control that they have no choice but to show what how the power scaling looks like. You see what I'm saying?
It's rather
Like
refreshing seeing it being explained so quickly and not just,
yeah,
oh,
and
I need to explain.
right. Or having the fan base having to guess the lore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I like the fact that, oh, by the way, I like the fact that they actually specify with higher rank comes more authority and better wages. And like Jinshi is just like smiling. Because that's all she wants. But yeah, based on this, you pretty much get the idea that that there's specific scaling. And it's interesting the fact that they show this. They're letting us know that Jinshiyo is a samurai, and what determines your rank is how many Mononoke you've dispatched or killed, right? And she is the strongest one in that branch. And then suddenly we get to this fight with this Mononoke, and she does the same ability as she did before, like the Hurricane Flux thing or whatever she calls her blade. And she doesn't really do much. Like she even does a brand new technique that we've never seen before, right? And she's trying
Yeah.
to use it to vanquish the demon once and for all. Like we see like this super cool like it's called like the whirlwind drill or whatever, and apparently this is kind of like teasing some things that happen later on, right? Which I'm not going to spoil because I don't want to rush things too soon. But you see her doing this ability and kind of like hitting him, but you see that she didn't do anything. She was unable to harm this Mononoke. That's how strong this guy is. So we thought that she was like the head honcho, but we just figured out. I'm sorry, she's not as strong as we thought, which is a huge dramatic change in dynamic, right? Because you
Yeah.
expect because you expect the higher rank to pull the Kakashi, right? You know how like in the original Naruto, when you have Kakashi there, you always kind of feel that he's not that strong, and then out of nowhere, he shows you that he's like 10 levels ahead. And even when
It's
he's like, and even when he's matched with an enemy, little goes further, and he's still 10 levels ahead. You know what I mean?
so not even Doron can escape our usual mentioning of Dragos and Naruto.
It's not possible. I even tweeted about Naruto, how the new Sonic movie is kind of pulling some Naruto stuff. Yeah, bro, I couldn't help myself. It was perfect. I mean, they're fighting on a hill. There's a waterfall. Come on, bro. Um, but yeah, so we have all this power scaling and stuff like that, and the fact that Jinshiyu kind of ends up in a pretty bad shape. So I like that dynamic. I like the fact that they're kind of shaking the foundations of how we thought this was gonna go. Because I personally thought that Jinshiyu was gonna be the head honcho for a while. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I kind of felt that she was gonna be that one person that's always gonna be surprising Dora because of how strong she is. But we are already seeing her at a limit, which I think was it's very refreshing. I like the fact that we're seeing that. and the fact that now she has to work together with Dora to figure out how to kill this demon, how to kill this Mononoke. Like she has no choice. I mean, they have to work together. They have to figure out a plan, and I don't know. I like this. I like their dynamic. I like how they're just figuring out a way to beat this guy.
And can we also agree that while Kusanagi is cute as always, it's clearly something more going on with this little fluff ball, considering this little fluff ball has some damn good strength in him, considering how much damage they are able to do. He's able to do.
You mean he has a lot of HP or attack? Yeah, but you know what? It's good that you say that, because it's not just his resistance, the fact that how strong he can be as a weapon, but what I like about this, which I think I find very refreshing too, is that I like how it's not Jinchiyo and it's not Dora, but it's Kusanagi, the one that's coming up with important strategy points. Like, yes, they have a plan that they're coming together where they're going to strike this Mononoke where he's weak, but the one that figures that out is Kusanagi. Like, we got Kusanagi pulling an arm in. You know what I mean? Like, he's not just a beanbag, ladies and gentlemen. He's not just a beanbag. He's very smart, and I like that, because I like how it's kind of like taking the attention away from Dora, which I find very interesting, because it kind of lays down the foundation of the fact that, is this Dora's story or is this Kusanagi's story? We know that Dora's the main character, but I like the fact that no, they're both the main character. It's about the both of them.
And since he's a Mononoke himself, it makes sense that he would be the one that knows this stuff.
Yep. And you know what I'm thinking about? Which I think I never thought about it this way. And I apologize for bringing Naruto back again. But this makes me think, like, how interesting it's like the kind of dynamic that you have here is it's kind of like a what if Naruto and Kyuubi, what if Naruto and Kurama would have been working together from the beginning?
Who's those again?
So Naruto is Naruto, and the nine-tailed fox is Kurama.
Okay.
They used to call them Kyuubi originally, but his real name is Kurama. So what if, because you know that they don't end up working together till the end of Shippuden, that they actually like. So what if, like this? I like how this story of Kusanagi and Dora is kind of like a what if that teamwork started early when Naruto was still a kid, and I like the idea that this is like, that's the genius of Gen Osuka, the writer, because I like the fact that no, we can't get in his head, but it makes you think he's probably thinking about all these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's thinking, because he's using a lot of tropes like that tend to be very familiar. And you know what? I'm going to say this, and this might be like heresy, but you know what? If people hate me, it's fine. I think that he's doing it so far. Jen is doing a better job in finding his voice, because you know that the shonen genre is super saturated, right?
No shit.
Yeah, right. And I mean, there's its own magazine, right? And one of the issues that I had, and I think I mentioned that when we covered the first half, which, by the way, we kind of owe people part 2 on Jujutsu Kaisen season 1. We haven't done it. That's kind of my fault.
It's always your fault. We know that
100%. But I kind of see that they like, you know how I always talked about Jujutsu Kaisen and always said that it was kind of derivative.
Yeah.
It really wore all of its influence on its sleeve. I like that Doron Dororon, we know there's an influence, but they're doing a lot of more original twists. Everything feels a lot more fresh with the way they're taking things. You know what I mean? Like they had the thought
Yeah.
process, they thought about the ideas, but I like the direction they're taking it, and I like the fact that they're very deliberate, they're very sure, or at least that's how it feels. It doesn't feel like they're playing with things. They're going in direction, they're going full blast, and I like what they're doing. And I love Kusanagi, and I want the beanbag chair.
Me too.
Um, but yeah, now of course, I don't think we need to stop here. So they developed this plan to kill this monster, but of course, what we really want to talk about is the big reveal, which I don't know. It's interesting. In one chapter, we have like three big bombs, right? Literally.
Soda.
So the plan works, right? They're able to attack. Dora is able to work with Kusanagi and Jinshiyu to trick the demon to attack him, and they attack his lower part and kind of disconnect it from the rest of his body, right?
Yeah.
And then of course the most crazy thing happens, which I think this is the biggest reveal of the manga so far, right?
Yeah.
So you guys are watching this with us. We're reviewing it. So you guys know that we are 100% assuming that you've read this. So we're going to spoil shit. But so apparently when they cut the back half of that demon, out of nowhere another demon comes out. Like you have freaking, I don't know, who is this guy? Super Saiyan Demon Goku. Super Saiyan 3 Demon Goku break that back of the demon in half and comes out. So apparently another demon was hibernating inside of that demon. So like what is this? This is like Attack on Titan, right? Like it's like, you know, when Zeke kind of blew himself up and he had another Titan put him inside his body so he can regenerate. That's
Sorta.
pretty much what this. That was pretty much what this was. So when this happened, you got this Super Saiyan Demon Goku pop out. What did you think when you saw this?
I was here.
Apart from the
What
fact that he
the
looks,
heck?
yeah. So apparently he comes from the demon world. Now we have not seen the demon world. We don't know what it looks like. Apparently this is the first time that he enters the human world because he's like celebrating and like super whatever. Who does he remind you of in terms of the way he goes about himself? The way he loves destruction. He kind of reminds me.
Bo. Majin Bo? Or what are you talking about? In
There's a
terms of
little bit of
character?
Majin Buu, but you know, it kind of always. I mean, I'm not saying that's what it is because I don't think I've read enough of that character too. But I don't know why, but he makes me think about Grimjow from Bleach.
Yeah.
The way
I can see that.
he looks, and the way that he just destroys things and not care. Like some people will call it careless, but like he knows how strong he is. Which is the other thing that's dramatic. If we thought that demon that killed Dora's mother was strong, this one apparently is a million times stronger because he levels a part of a town in like a second. He's talking like, "Hey guys, what's up? You guys want to get some coffee? I'm gonna destroy this. Boom! Oh, there it is. I destroyed it. Like it's ridiculous." So like again, power scaling blown out. Like if we thought how power scaling in this manga was going to work, I don't think we know anything. Isaac, we know shit.
Well, we know regarding we know regarding the samurais. So there's that.
Yeah, which leads us to the other reveal. Which so the three bangs in this chapter 9 was the revelation of this new villain, the fact that they are such a thing as humanoid mononokes, which I think with all the anime that you and I have watched, we knew this was going to be a thing. Like there's no way that there weren't going to be humanoid mononokes, right? And it's interesting that this is actually one of the most clear Bleach references. And do you know why I think that? I want to
Don't,
see if you catch it first. Why is this a Bleach reference?
because of the same reason that he reminds you of the Bleach villain.
But also in the thought process. And it's if you remember when we started seeing hollows, they start being these monstrous hollows. But as they grow stronger, they gain more and more human characteristics until you get to the spadas, which are the most human looking hollows. So the more human the likeness, the stronger the hollow.
Yeah, that makes
Does it make sense?
sense.
So I just thought about that right now because you kind of like all the different demons that we saw, they all look like animals or like they were very grotesque, like monsters. And this is the first time that we see one that looks human-like, and its power is just like ridiculous, like just ridiculous, and like some of the most harmful villains that Ichigo and all the other Soul Reapers face are the Spadas, which they all look like humans and like Soul Reapers.
Can't wait for Bleach in later this year.
That is going to be great. I got to catch up with Bleach. I got to make up my mind whether I'm going to watch it and finish it or I'm just going to read it. Yeah, that's probably going to be the easiest thing. But yeah, I got to catch up with Bleach. But yeah, I mean it's awesome. Now, so the three bangs was revelation of the humanoid Mononoke. We have the amount of destruction that this new villain throws on top of everything. I mean, he levels an entire part of this of the city, which is ridiculous. Let me show you. I'm going to show you guys that because it's just crazy how he levels everything with just one blast. And look at that. Look at the amount of destruction and how it looks. This reminds you and look, he's just laughing. He doesn't care about anything. I like how he talks about organisms like he's like an immortal being or something else. Look how messed up Dora is. He's just super powerful. Now, the other big revelation is what happens at the end of the chapter, which is the revelation of a new samurai. Which, if you remember, Isaac, you remember that he was teased, right?
Yeah.
Like apparently this is the one that we saw like in a brief flashback, probably like 3 chapters ago, that kind of like Jin Shiyo looks up to. But apparently he's super strong because he's able to cut one of the humanoid demon's arms. And that's where the chapter ends. But man, things are like revving up like a lot. Like a lot. And I'm here for it. Are you liking the direction that the manga's going? Do you like the twists and turns with the norm? Do you like the fact what do you like the most about everything? I've been talking like crazy. I haven't heard you.
Yeah, I think you're. I think you're pretty much on point.
Mm.
I think you're pretty much on point.
Do you have something? Do you have something that you love the most of it, or that you enjoy the most of it?
No, it's just interesting. Just interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you like the take that they have? Do you think that do you think it's original enough, or do you think it's derivative? Like,
I
for
think it's
example, Jujutsu
original
Kaisen.
enough.
Yeah. Did it make sense what I said, that Jujutsu Kaisen fears more a derivative than this? Does that make sense when I make that statement?
Yeah. Absolutely agree with you.
Cool. So I don't know, man. I think we've said everything there is to say about this. Is there anything else you want to throw in there before we head out?
No. Nothing more than I can say that I was when I read that at first I was just, wait, what? No, I want to read more.
Yeah, yeah. It gives you that feeling, and there's a lot more stuff coming on. So, guys, if you love what we're doing here, covering Doron Doron, don't forget to click on the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, to like this video. We're gonna keep covering Doron Doron till it ends. We're gonna keep doing it. We're almost caught up with the amount of chapters that are out. So there's gonna come a time where we're gonna do it probably twice a month, because I think that we feel better covering 2 chapters at a time as opposed to 3 or only 1, because we want to be able to have a good discussion, right, Isaac? So when we get caught up,
You're pretty much on point.
yeah. So when we get caught up, we're probably going to do it like probably twice a month, but probably alternate with a different kind of book as well. And we're debating what other manga we're going to cover, but we're going to cover more manga and provide more varied content. So stay tuned to everything we do at the Immature Taco Podcast here on YouTube. I'm gonna start putting the Doron episodes on the podcast channel, so that way you can follow us there too, and share with your friends, and let us know what you think about Doron Dororon chapters 8 and 9, and we will see you next week. Have it awesome, guys.
Have it awesome.
Peace.
Peace.